Hello YouTube, this is Smart, and I'm here today with another brand new YouTube tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're going to be using a variety of programs actually, and we're going to be teaching you how to do image sequencing, which is also known as making a video file into an image file. So basically, you can have a video, if you have a video recorded, sorry about that. If you have a video recorded, you can turn that video into a smaller file size, into an image. So you can basically copy and paste that image onto your website or onto a forum or anywhere where you want to place the image, and it will show the video in a GIF, which is an animated image file. Now to do this, you're going to need several things. Depends really on what you're recording. If you're recording an in-game footage, for example, World of Warcraft, I don't know, Call of Duty, Wizard 101, EverQuest, who knows what game you're recording, I would suggest that you get the program called Fraps, which is right here. Now this is a program that lets you record in-game footage to a very high quality. So I suggest recording your game footage with Fraps. I will have a link in the description to the Fraps website where you can download that. If you're recording your screen, I would use what I'm using right now, which is this right here. It's a BB Flashback Pro 3 recorder. I will also link that in the description, but you can pretty much use any type of screen recorder. Those are the ones I'm just suggesting. Now, when you have your video recorded, after you have your video recorded, you have to open it up in two programs. We have two choices. So for this, I'm going to show you the two choices. One, you can either open it up in Adobe After Effects CS6. You can open up your video in Adobe After Effects CS6. So we're going to open up that while I show you the other option that we have. The other option that we have is actually something called, hold on, I think I have my desktop icons hidden. Where are they? View, show, view, show desktop icons. Okay, so the next one we have is called this right here, which is Virtual Hub, and I will also link this. So I'm going to link you the Adobe After Effects and the Virtual Hub and the recorders in the description. So these are the programs that you will need to do this. Now you can either use Virtual Hub, which is very easy to use and you don't have to do much, or you can use Adobe After Effects, where you can also save your video into an image sequence. Now the reason why you have to save your video as an image sequence is because it will separate your video into frames, and these frames are basically snapshots of your video. Basically what's going to happen is that you're going to place all those snapshots together in a GIF, and you can use Photoshop or GIMP for that. I will also link Photoshop and GIMP in the description. So all programs you can find in the description for information and for download. So first of all, you need to record your video, and I already have something recorded. If you don't know how to record using Fraps or using BB Flashback, I will probably have a tutorial up about that soon. So right now I would just search one on YouTube. I don't have one of those videos up yet, but if you're watching this maybe in 2 weeks from now, I'll probably have it up, so check my channel. But right now, as of April 24th, I don't have a tutorial for recording. But anyway, what you want to do, I'm going to be using After Effects, but I'm also going to show you how to do it in Virtual Lab. I know a lot of you don't have After Effects. I will show you in Virtual Lab as well. But first I'm going to show you in After Effects. So if you don't have After Effects, then just fast forward in this video and until you see me minimize this, and then you should be able to continue watching. So first of all, you want to go to File, and you want to go to, actually you want to go to Composition, New Composition, and basically depending on how big your recording is. You want to make your dimensions like that. My recording is 1600 by 900, and for your duration, you don't want to make it too long. A 10-second video is gonna be about 50 megabytes, and most sites do not even let you upload that much unless you have a premium subscription to a site creator. And I believe Windows doesn't even load the GIF that well with high file size. So I'm gonna make mine 10 seconds, but I will shrink it down. I'm just keeping it 10 seconds for now. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and actually make mine smaller because we don't need that much anyway. I'm gonna make mine a total of 3 seconds. Okay. Actually 0, 0, and then our total duration is going to be 3 seconds. And be aware, you can change this. You can always change your time. If you want to make it longer or shorter, you can always go up to composition and composition settings, and you can always change the settings and press OK. So the first thing you want to do is you have your composition here. You want to go to File, and you want to go to Import, and you're going to go to File, and you're going to import your video file. I'm going to go to my Fraps folder because I'm going to be showing you how to do it with an in-game recording. So let's just go with this. I don't even know what I clicked, but we'll find out what it is. Okay, so basically, let me pre-render this real quick. Basically, what we have here is a video of characters dancing. Now, you can make this video into an image, basically. Sorry about that. Extra sound there, we don't need that. But you can basically make this video into an image. Now, what you need to do, if you want to put special effects, go ahead and do that. I do have tutorials on some special effects and how to do some things on After Effects, so you can check my channel if you're interested. But if not, if you just want to make it into an image sequence, basically all you do is import your video, which we have done, and you go up to File, and you go up to, actually, sorry about that, that's in Virtual Hub. You go to Composition, you go to Add to Render Queue, and you'll see this little pop-up here. I would keep everything the same. Basically, your output, what you want to do is you want to have a folder set up on your desktop, because it is going to give you like 800, well, it's going to give you less, it's going to give you like 200 images if you have like a 10-second video. So I would suggest you make a folder for this. So I'm going to make a folder real quick, new folder, and I'm going to name this GIF sequence. Is it misspelled? I don't really care if it's misspelled. And we're going to open up After Effects again, and now we're going to go and select our output to, go to desktop, and GIF sequence. Now all of your frames we put in here. If you don't make a folder, they're going to be all over your desktop. And we're going to name this GIF practice. GIF practice. Now, for the output module, what you want to do is you want to click this. It'll be at default looseless, and you want to change this to either a JPEG sequence, a TIFF sequence, or a PNG sequence. Now, for smaller file size, I highly recommend you go with JPEG sequence. If you have a very short animation and you want more quality, you can go with PNG sequence. And I don't really use TIFF sequence that much, but I highly suggest going with JPEG sequence, since that really saves you a lot of trouble. So after you have that, you just click OK. And then basically from here on out, this will start to render. You click the render button over here, and it'll basically go through all the frames here. And when it finishes, you'll hear a nice completion sound. And actually, let me see if I have my sound on so you guys can hear it, because I don't know. I just like the sound. But this is one way to do it with After Effects. So let's just wait until it finishes. It's almost done. I don't think I need to pause the video just for this little amount of time. But once it finishes, you'll hear. So you can actually minimize this and just keep on doing whatever you want. And there we go. So now that this is finished, now you have your in your folder. If you open this folder up, you will see that you have all of these frames. Now basically all these frames are different, so each frame looks different. It basically took a snapshot of each frame. Now the next thing you want to do is open up GIMP or Photoshop, but before we do that, I'm going to show everyone else who doesn't have Adobe After Effects how to do it in Virtual Hub. So basically the same thing. I'm going to make another folder here, and we're going to name this GIF Sequence 2. Now, you can do the same thing in Virtual Hub. Let's close Adobe After Effects. Don't save. Now in Virtual Hub, you do the exact same thing. You go to File, and actually, we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to Open Video Files. And I'm going to pick the exact same one that we used, which is this one right here. This one is much more easier to use, and those of you who aren't that savvy with computers, I do recommend using this program since it is a little easier to use. Next, you go to File, you're going to go to Export, and you're going to go to Image Sequence. Now, here you can type in your file name, so I'm just going to type in GIF Practice 2. And then your suffix, just keep it like that. And for the maximum number of digits, you can keep it 4 just. Now directory, you want to go to your folder, GIF Sequence 2, click OK. And your output format, you're going to go to JPEG. Now you can change this to JPEG too, obviously, but I didn't do that. But yeah, so JPEG right here, and basically that's it. You click. You can also change this, but I don't really use that, so I just keep it default. So I click OK, and basically what this will do, it will start to do the exact same thing that After Effects did, only you're not using After Effects, using Virtual Hub. So I assume this takes a bit longer. I'm not even sure. I don't use Virtual Hub that much. I use Adobe After Effects, but I did hear this program can do it, so that's why I'm putting it in this video. So while this does the work here, next step you want to do is open up Photoshop or GIMP. Now Photoshop, you do the exact same thing in GIMP. There's not much of a difference. I'm going to use GIMP to demonstrate this because I do know many people do not have Photoshop. So for the sake of saving time, and saving everyone else time even, and for easy explaining, I'm going to use GIMP because you do the exact same steps in Photoshop that you do in GIMP. Now let's see how far this is. Almost done. So once this opens up, it always takes a long time to load. Probably because I have a bunch of stuff open. But yeah. Okay, so now that we have this video is almost done as well, I'm gonna be using the other GIF sequence because it works that way. Well, because it's already done, not because it works, but because it's already done. I think GIMP is open now. Let me see. No, it'll be open. If you want to fast forward here, I'm not going to pause the video because I mean it's not really worth pausing the video. But if you want, you can pause forward. I mean you can fast forward until you see a pop up, which is going to be like any second right now. It's already open. There you go. Now, when you do this, you might want to wait. I mean, I'm doing this with a bunch of things open because I want to save video footage time. Okay, so now that we're here in GIMP, what you want to do, you do the same thing in Photoshop, so just don't worry about it. So we're going to go to File, Open as Layers, and what we do, we're going to go to the desktop, and we're going to go to GIF Sequence. Now, this one's already done, so I'm using this one. How far is this? Oh, it's finished. Okay. So let me just show you the other one. This is the exact same thing, you see. So the same thing, you can use a virtual hub or you can use Adobe After Effects, doesn't matter. So I'm going to use the Adobe After Effects just because, I don't know, I just picked it, whatever, doesn't really matter. But you can pick whatever, it's the exact same thing. So you're going to open as layers, and you'll see that it might freeze up a bit, but it might take a while. I mean, I have a pretty fast computer, so it won't take forever. But if you have a lot of frames, this will take up to about 5 minutes maybe. I had 283 frames on an animation I made, and it took about 2 minutes to open up. So if you have a lot of frames, be aware this can take a little while to actually load all the layers, because if you notice, all the layers are being loaded into here, so we can make it into a GIF. Now, there are several ways you can do this. So for those of you who are going to mention in the comments, I do it a different way. There is another way to do this. Just to let you know, you can go picture by picture and type in parentheses 100 ms parentheses, which basically means that every frame will last basically 100 milliseconds. So you can do that, but I'm going to be showing the easier way to do this. So for those of you who are going to comment that there's another way to do it, yes, there is another way to do it, but I'm going to be showing you the easy way. So the first thing you want to do, you want to make sure you can crop as much as possible, because this is a big file size. This is a big screen even, so you want to crop as much as possible. So I'm going to crop, I just want them dancing on the rainbow here. I mean, I don't really want that much even. So I'm just going to crop it like this. Just like this is fine. So if you can crop some, do so, because you will need the file space. Especially if you have a big video file, you will need the file space. So now that we have this cropped, basically what you can do, if you want, you can even decrease the image size. Go up to image here, scale image, and because this will save you some file size as well. So I'm going to shrink this down to about 250 in height. Now this will change the size of every layer, so it's still pretty good. Not too pixelized. It's pretty good still. So if you want to see how to look, you go up here to wind filters. You go to animation. You go to playback, and over here you can click play. And as you can see, there they are dancing. Now it looks a little bit laggy here, probably because I'm screen recording, but this is how it will look, basically. So now next thing to do is you want to go to File, and you want to go to Export, and you want to go to your desktop or wherever you want to save it, and you want to make sure that you name this animation or whatever you want to name it, and make sure you put period GIF. Now you can either write it here or you can select it from this list, which is right here, GIF. But make sure you have GIF at the end or it won't move. The picture will not move. So you go to export, and now you want to make sure you have as animation selected, and loop forever. If you wanted to keep on repeating itself, you can do that. I usually do this. For delay between frames, to make it normal speed, what I would do some math here. Basically, if you have a 3-second video, and you have, like, for example, how many frames do we have? So I can try to explain this to you guys, how I get my times. Let's see how many frames we have. Go to desktop. I'm going to go to a GIF sequence. Okay, so we have a total of 89 frames. So about 90 frames we have. We have about 90 frames, and what you have to do when you get to this point where it says delay between frames, basically this means how many milliseconds will be for every frame. For how many milliseconds will each frame or layer be shown? So if you put 1,000 milliseconds, that means that's 1 second. 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second. So basically, what will happen is that each frame, each layer here, will display for 1 second. You want it to stay normal speed, which is 3 seconds. So what you do is you divide how many milliseconds are there in 3 seconds? 3,000, because 1,000 milliseconds per second. So there's 3,000 milliseconds in 3 seconds. Since our video here is 3 seconds, we want to have an equal distribution of milliseconds for every frame. So if you want, you can do this in your head, or you can just pull up the calculator. Doesn't really matter. And you basically divide your total milliseconds, which is 3,000, since we have 3 seconds, divided by the number of frames. We have 89. And it'll give you 33.78. So that means about 34 milliseconds per frame. That's what you want to do. If you have more frames, obviously it's going to be a bit higher. But 34 milliseconds is how long each frame will show. Next, over here, you want to make sure you click replace. Unless unless you're making an animation by hand, then you might want to do combine depending on your animation. But this tutorial is showing you how to do it with a video already. And then lastly, you want to check these 2 boxes and then click export. And then this will load. This may take some time. My 10-second GIF took about 10 minutes to do this exporting. So you don't worry if this freezes, if you see the evil circling, or for you Mac users, if you see the evil wheel of colors, don't worry. But now after that finishes, your file will be here. And let's see if it moves. The last time I checked, it didn't move, because I don't know why. I guess the file size was too big. Actually, why am I opening it here? Let me go right click preview. Let's see if this one moves. Well, this one doesn't move. I guess, I mean, there's something wrong with Windows. I haven't figured that out yet. But you can check to see if your animation works. If you close this and you go to File, you go to Open, and you select your image. We named it Animation GIF, which is right here. And to check to see if it works, you go up here to Filters, Animation. You go to Playback, and you click Play. And as you can see, there is how it will look. This is regular speed. And if you don't like the speed, if you think it's too fast or too slow, no worries. You can always go to File, Export again, and replace. And you can change the milliseconds. You can make it faster or slower. If you raise it, it'll be if you make it higher, if you make this higher, it'll be slower. If you make it lower, it'll be faster. So the lower this number, the faster it will go. And you can just replace it, export, and it will replace itself. This is the only way to check, so you can't really open it up on Windows. I don't know why yet. If somebody figures it out, do let me know in the comments. But I'm guessing it has something to do with the file size. But I do know if you upload it to a website, it does work. So if you upload this picture to a photo bucket and link it to your site, copy and paste it to your site, or if you upload it to your site even directly to the site directory, it will work, because I have done it. I did it yesterday. So don't worry if you don't see it moving. Just check on GIMP to see if you did it right. If you did it right, you'll see it moving. If you didn't do it right, you'll either see it move really fast or not move at all. But that's basically it. That is how you turn a video file into an image sequence, into a image file. So if you have questions, please do leave them at the comments. I think I did talk a little too fast here. I try to keep my videos short and quick to watch, and I know that sometimes makes it a bit confusing. So I do apologize if I talk a little too fast. If I did talk a little too fast, do let me know in the comments, and I will try to slow down in my next tutorials. Because I do know I had one person complain about that. So any feedback or suggestions, or if you have anything to contribute, or have a fix for this preview thing here, or if you know why this is happening, go ahead and put it in the comments, and I will make sure I put a little bubble annotation in my video and give you credit for that. But any other questions about this, or how to do this, or just problems you have, you can message me or you can leave a comment, and I do reply to all my comments within about 2 to 3 days, so I will reply to you. Don't worry about that. Thank you all for watching as usual, and this is GS Smart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.